そっちの島は任せたぞ。もっと角んとこ勝ち込まんかい。ここらへんは一番ゴミどもが集まっとるんや。今を引いてんちゃうぞ。所詮は素人や。主婦なめとったらなんて。こういう場所は棒状の門に布を巻いて。
More manga and anime for you folks. Thanks for tuning in. Oh boy, let me tell you something. There's a lot, and I touted this at the end of last year, 2020. I said 2021 is going to be a big year for the manga and anime industry. For the reason is that they're putting out so much. It's unbelievable. Manga is overtaking the comic book industry. I mean, we've seen increases from about 20 to 40% increases across the board in manga sales, depending on which manga you're talking about. And you're getting adaptations a lot quicker these days. I mean, we've just hearing recently, and we're looking into is the Spy X Family has already been greenlit for season 1. Which that's going to be an interesting anime, and that's been selling out like crazy. Last year, I think they were, I don't know what they are recently. I know by the close of last year, over 8 million touting and growing every day. I mean, when you talk, you see something like, was it Demon Slayer touting over 90 million in sales. And we're talking copies, 90 million copies have been sold. On just that manga alone. I mean, it's incredible when you see that. But there's been a lot of other mangas, and not too many people have been talking about. But basically, there are some that that are pretty good, pretty darn good, and they're coming your way, and some of them sooner than later. And one of them is one that I got interested in. I love the premise of it, and I mentioned it before. And it's coming the way of Netflix. Netflix got the rights to this one. It's called The Way of the Househusband. Now, there is a trailer out for the first season. It's already out, and it's running, and you'll see it on the screen here now. And it is an interesting tale. And basically... it's a gentleman named, his name is Tatsuro, and he's a feared Yakuza boss, the Immortal Dragon. And then he retires from his life of crime to become a house husband so he can support his wife, Miku, who, in Japan, everybody goes to work. The ones that go to work, they go to the office, they work hard and stuff like that. There's the spouse, sometimes it's the husband, sometimes it's the wife, are working hard at home to keep the house going. And the whole thing on this is the insanity of what he goes through to keep the house going. And the thing is, every once in a while, he runs across one of his former employees and rivals. And what would it be like? You got a guy who was the big tough boss. Now he's just washing dishes, cleaning floors, vacuuming, keeping the house clean for his wife. And it's insane. And the thing is, also, in the later part of 2020, they released on Nippon an anime live action version of The Way of the Househusband. And I don't know how it's doing. I have to look up on that. But you'll see some of the bits on that here. I mean, it is one that is they sold a lot of mangas for. It was overall sale 2018. It was like overall sales, best sales for me, for male readers, best humor public. I mean, it's a great premise. Hollywood would probably try to knock this one off. Because that is a great... I mean, well, technically it was already done, really. We could tout back to Mr. Mom. in a way. I mean, he wasn't a Yakuza guy. He was a factory worker who basically lost his job. That was with Michael Keaton and Terry Garr, which was a funny movie. If you never saw Mr. Mom, that was a really good movie. But you know Hollywood will probably try to grab this one. But we're going to get to see this in April very soon when you see this video. It's going to be about April 8th on Netflix. Netflix has been touting a lot of anime. They already this month you had Pacific Rim, High Rise Invasion, there's a couple of others coming across the boards, and more on the way. And there's been a battle for the control of Demon Slayer on these apps. So who's going to get the premiere of the second season when the second season comes out, and who's getting the movie? Movie's already going to be airing here. I think it already started this week. In Miami, they just opened New York theaters, so I haven't heard anything about New York theaters. Yeah, there hasn't been too much information. I mean, they're supposed to start playing in screens in Miami, at least to make it to the Oscars, supposedly for an Oscar nomination, which really doesn't really matter. I mean, they shouldn't push themselves to get an Oscar nom. But the Oscars and the Golden Globes have become crap anyway. You know, it's not really. I mean, they didn't even get a golden. I don't even think Demon got a Golden Globe nomination. Like I said, you have situations where the anime doesn't get respected as much, and there's good stories. This happens to be Demon Slayer happens to be a good story. This one up there, Way of the House, it looks very good. Some people are criticizing like CBR, which I never trust CBR on a lot of their articles. They're criticizing the way it looks on the animation. It's an unusual style, but still just a Japanese anime. Japanese anime has many different styles, and you know people do enjoy them. That's what's great about Japanese anime. You know, we don't have to deal with the Cal Arts, which let's not go into that one. But that's not the only thing that we look forward to. And this is a major announcement that just got out, and Crunchyroll just put this out just in the last. When I recorded this, the last 48 hours. Rise of the Shield Hero will get its premiere in the fall. That's right, folks. We're going to get a second season. I mean, they already ordered two seasons. Two seasons are on order right now. Season 2, Season 3. Season 2 is just now they're finishing up on the finishing touches on it. We will see it sometime in October, which is great too. I love Rise of the Shield Hero. It happens to be very good. A lot of people criticize it, and they haven't really watched it and not really understand what's going on. They said, "Oh, it's controversial." What's controversial? It's about a guy who ends up in another world in Ishikawa. Basically, he ends up there. He's the Shield Hero, which a lot of people don't like being the Shield Hero in fantasy worlds because they say it's always the weaker one. But he happens to be fairly strong. He gets tricked by the princess and is told, that she tells people that, he took advantage of her. Yes, that's right. Rape. And, he gets in trouble. People don't like him and stuff like that. And they all turn his back on him. And he just goes around doing what he does best by helping people, but not caring much. That was season 1, and things changed by the end of the season, which I did enjoy that. That was really good what he did, what's happened to her and her father, because they were both involved in there. The queen had to intervene, per se, in the whole situation. Not to give anything away, so you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, it is a good anime. It is a very good anime. The manga, I'm told, is excellent. It is not as controversial as people say. It isn't. It's a basic isekai adventure. So nothing more than Mushiko Tenshin, which is also another one great anime as well, which by the time you see this video, The new episode is supposed to be really, it changes the whole parameter of what's going on in the story. And I think the episode, it's like Turning Point parts 1 and 2. I think that's how it is, because the last episode was Turning Point. And it's literally, that's what's happening now. When you get stories, and that's the best thing about this. You're getting stories. This is what we've been missing from the industry. This is what we're missing from the movies. When you sit there and you're saying that we're criticizing too much of Star Trek, Star Wars, all these shows, yes, we're criticizing them because they're not giving us good stories. They're not making. We did a video already. Star Wars High Republic has a new character. It's a rock. No, I'm not kidding you. If you haven't seen that video yet, go back on. Watch the 100 videos that are out. It's a rock. No, not a rock. Galaxy Quest, like someone said on my Twitter page, Galaxy Quest did it better. Understand that. If they take a comedy, a sci-fi comedy, and say you had a rock creature in there, and the rock creature moves with arms and legs and stuff like that, and roll and did it on it, that's fine. What Star Wars High Republic did was just an obelisk or rock wall or whatever we want to call it. That's not good storytelling. Not good storytelling at all. But you have like Rise of the Shield Hero. It's good storytelling. Same thing with Goblin Slayer. We got another season of Goblin Slayer is coming. And that's good storytelling. Now you're going to say, oh, what about Redo the Healer? It's a decent story. It gets a little crazy, stuff like that. Not the greatest story in the world, but the cringiness kind of makes it to, what's going to happen next? It's that old joke. If you ever listen to Howard Stern, everybody knows what Howard Stern is. If you haven't, he was one of the most cringiest at the time radio talk show hosts. He used to be shock jocks was the term. And one of the things about him, and when it came to the ratings, and they did this whole thing, they did a survey. They asked the people that liked him, why did they like listening to him? And they said, because they wanted to see what he was going to say next. Then they asked the people who hated him, that just basically despised him, why were they listening? And they said, wanted to hear what he was going to say next. And that's the same thing with Redo the Healer. Yeah, it's cringy, it's crazy, it's a revenge story, which is standard revenge story for anything that's been out. And we discussed this on a video talking about Redo the Healer, that many movies have and TV movies have made this type of subject matter before. And in the case of this, is that it's cringy, but you want to see what's going to happen next. You want to see what this guy's going to do next. Not because you think how many times he's going to rape a girl or have sex with a girl, which, so far, it's been slowing up a little bit. But you want to see also how far is he going to get on his revenge. And that's part of the storytelling. Is it one of these big extravagance that's going to be fantastic? Not really. But it'll be notable because of its subject matter. Rise of the Shield Hero is doing very good because of the cringiness, the fake cringiness, as I would say. It is a good anime. Same thing with Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer, you had only one episode that you had the goblin stuff scene, rape scene that's in there, and it wasn't even that much. You didn't see much. You didn't see much at all. It wasn't censored. It was just you didn't see much. It was a quick take and move away, and that's what some people do. You'll see the event about to start, but then you pan away, or you might have moved to further away from it, but you hear what's going on. It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You knew the guy that got caught and hit the Ballantine Manor and got dragged in. You know he was in all sorts of trouble when Leatherface closed the door. That is filmmaking or storytelling. You can get a horrifying story, do it, but you don't need to do a lot of graphic. Or sometimes you gotta show the graphic to understand what's behind the story. to see what what drives the character, and that's also part of it. Whether you agree with it or disagree with it, we can have discussions on this day in, day out. So, Way of the Husband-Wife, not so husband-wife, Way of the Househusband, coming soon on April. October, Rise of the Shield Hero. So we can't wait to see this. We got a lot more to discuss on anime. We're going to do it on another episode. We got to talk about Godzilla, which that's going to be out very soon as well. There's going to be a live adaptation of one of the great horror anime classics of all time, which it's going to get an Amazon treatment. So that's going to be interesting to see how Amazon to do a live action version of this, and we'll discuss this on the next one. And it's going to be interesting what's going to go on next, what's coming out very soon, what's going to be greenlit. Like there's the other video we talked about, the breast manga. We hope that one gets because that one is a very comedic way of doing something, and it's very funny how they did that one. Do catch that video. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, share, hit that notification bell, and comment below. We will catch you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye now.
じゃあもう一回聞くけど職業は
専業主婦です。ほな。
待って
ほな。
I was at a dance when she caught my eye, standing all alone, looking sad and shy. We began to dance, swaying to